Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I'm Jonathan Bearded Blevins, and I think that most media marketed towards children is a waste of time.
And I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. I am a mother of 5, and I think you can redeem a lot of media that's out there for kids, and especially the things that we are looking at today, because today is a listisode.
A listisode.
That's right.
A listepisode.
A listepisode. That sounds like the stethoscope.
Sounds like a surgery.
Anyway, these are 5 youth rebellion movies that don't make the family the bad guy.
Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm. Do you think that these, out of the 5 movies we're going to talk about, I'm going to put the average age appropriateness of them, besides Moana, at like 10 and up, 10 to 12 and up? Okay. 10 to 12 and up. So, which is perfect because like when kids start rebelling is middle schoolish, right? Yeah. Here's the thing. Like the premise of this whole thing is that a lot of youth rebellion movies make your dad the bad guy. He's a racist, or he's a sexist, or he's a terrible person, or your mom's just completely gone off the rails or whatever. And that doesn't really teach kids how to start to assert their own values, how to assert their own learning, their ability to apply their morality to their own lives, of their individual talents, things like that. It doesn't teach them how to rebel in a way that doesn't damage the family, you know? Yeah.
And I think these are great examples of ways that kids can get out there and start to assert themselves in ways that are age appropriate and without needing to feel like their dad's a bad guy.
Love that. So I'm guessing Ferris Bueller's Day Off is not on this?
It's not. Actually, That was exactly what I was thinking of when I was thinking, like, Ferris Bueller, classic movie, not appropriate for a 15-year-old that you don't want him stealing your car.
Correct.
And also, that doesn't work. Putting it in reverse, by the way, that doesn't work.
It does not.
No. Okay. So number 1 on this list, and in no particular order, is 1998's The Parent Trap.
That is the one with Lindsay Lohan?
Yes. And
Aren't
Lindsay
there
Lohan.
two? Wasn't there one that was older than that?
Yeah, there was like a 60s version.
Okay.
I can't remember who was
This
in
was
that
when
one.
Lindsay Lohan was just crushing acting.
Yeah, she was so cute, like 12 years old, probably being harmed. Great movie with the 2 little girls that meet at camp and find out that they're actually twin sisters, and their goal is to get their families back together. So they swap places to try to get their mom and their dad to have to switch them back and get them back together. So while there is a little bit of like disobedience and they get into some mild mischief at camp, they're able to say for themselves, like, hey, this agreement our parents made, which by the way is insane.
Yeah, makes no sense.
What judge signed off on this agreement? Like, oh yeah, you take one, you take the other, never talk to each other again. What? Okay. But like, they're able to look at that situation and say, hey, this was, and instead of being like, my mom and dad are horrible people, they separated us, we never were going to see each other. They're like, let's get them back together.
Yeah.
It's a good, if you don't look too deep into it, it's a nice, cute.
I love the movie. Oh my gosh, the name of the actress, the mom.
She died.
What?
Liam Neeson's wife. What is her name?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she died.
She didn't.
Yeah, what's her name? Liam Neeson's wife. Natasha Richardson. Yeah.
Well, she's hilarious in the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Great movie, Parent Trap.
Yeah.
Youth Rebellion.
So number 2 on my list is 2003's School of Rock.
Jack Black.
Let's
movie. Go.
So Jack Black is not a teacher, but he gets his way into this elementary school with a private school where he's teaching kids rock music. And while there is some obviously he's lying to people, there's a bit of a rebellion there, and he's teaching them to play rock and roll music instead of, whatever the school would prefer they'd be learning. But all of these kids learn to use their unique talents.
Yep.
For better. And there's like a great thing to be said there about like having a respectful rebellion against authority versus rejecting it outright.
Yep. Yeah. There's some language in it, but an overall hilarious movie, an absolute classic, one that parents can watch with their kids.
Yeah, parents will enjoy that one as well. Parent Trap is kind of hit or miss. I mean, you might like it from nostalgia, period. But
yep.
Number 3 on my list is the 2016 classic and soon to have a
sequel. Maybe we'll get it early. We'll see.
Ooh. Moana.
Yeah.
Moana's a great movie because she's got a dad who's acting out of fear, right? He's not irrational. He's not crazy. He's not just putting strange, useless limitations on her. He's reacting out of a legitimate concern for her safety, right? So he's a good guy, and she goes out and she does her mission and she comes back to her family,
yep.
right? The whole point of her mission is to save her community.
100%. And she's got an awesome grandma which I just love a good movie that has a grandma in there that is loved and respected and treated well, and she is. And my goodness, I think she's my favorite character.
When I'm old, I'm going to say I am the village crazy lady. I'm very excited to see
that does not shock me. And that one, I would say, of course, Parent Trap School of Rock, more like 10, 12, 13 years old. Moana, appropriate for all ages.
Yes, this next one is not very popular. I'd be surprised if you ever saw it.
I've never heard of it.
It is one of my favorite movies. It was a very short-lived Starbucks Studios. Starbucks produced a movie, and it was called Akila and the Bee, starring Lawrence Fishburne. Akila is a little girl growing up in an impoverished community in Los Angeles. She's not doing well in school because she doesn't have to and nobody cares. And she's like, why would I bother to do good in this school when, they don't even put doors in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And she's got a good point. However, her father had a love of words. He's died. And so she's being raised by a single mother now. And she has a love of words as well. She looks up words in the dictionary. She plays Scrabble all the time and she gets to go to the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Okay.
Yes. And so she ends up, it turns out she's actually really, really good at spelling, and she gets a tutor in the form of Lawrence Fishburne. Her teacher brings him in. And so she's being taught to do these things as a replacement for her bad grades in school. But her mom is not really down for the whole spelling bee thing. And so she's kind of doing it behind her back. And what's amazing is that even though Lawrence Fishburne sees her talent and her ability, he's like, we're going to defer to your parents here. If your mom says no, the answer is no.
Yeah.
And eventually they all get on board, and she ends up coming back to tie the National Spelling Bee. It's a great, 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 great movie, and actually completely appropriate for kids from, I would say, ages probably 7 and up.
Wow.
It's fantastic, wonderful movie.
Weirdly, what you just described reminds me of a different movie that I'm forgetting the name of, but it definitely has One Sweet Day sung by Boyz II Men on it. You're not going to remember. Gloria Estefan is in that movie. She's a teacher at an inner city school.
Oh.
Anyway, we're reviewing that on Is This for Kids? Coming up soon. If someone knows what it is, leave it in the comments.
Yeah. So Akila and the Bee, absolutely fantastic movie. And my last movie, did you know this one?
Bend It Like Beckham? Absolutely.
Bend It Like Beckham.
Huge fan.
One of my favorite movies. So Bend It Like Beckham is the story of Jess. She is an Indian English, and so she has this love of football, soccer, and she plays on a girls' team against the wishes of her family because her family has very traditional views on the roles of women and a very strong opinion about education, and that she's going to need to go to university and that football is just not the way to get there.
Yep.
Turns out it is.
Turns out
for her, but she has to do some things that put her at odds with her family several times, and she ends up having to face the music for that and causes some great consequences, or not great, terrible consequences, great meaning large, terrible consequences for her sister, and she has to get back in with her family and make it right with her family before she can make it right with football. Great movie, fantastic. I would say that one's appropriate maybe for 10 and up.
Yeah, 10. I would say 10, 12 and up.
Yeah, there's not really anything inappropriate in it, so.
Yeah, great one. Well done. 5 youth rebellion movies that you can go watch. And again, I think actually all of them, you could just watch that with your kid. Have good conversations with them. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it.
If people liked content like this, where could they find more of it?
We're going to be doing more list episodes like this. Go to isthisforkids.com. Let us know any type of topic or theme that you want us to talk about. Anything at all, we'll take it into consideration. And we've done many episodes at the request of people in the Instagram comments.
Hey, there's just so much content for us to wade through as parents.
I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. Let us help you decide.
Is this for kids?